Hey YouTube, how's it going? Well, not super awesome, but not as bad as it could be either. I have still managed to continue the smoke freeness, and 17 days and change now. This is getting serious, and there is no indication. I know a lot of people have said that the longer you do this, the easier it gets, but in my experience, that isn't true. I don't know, maybe it is true for you or for other people, but it's not true for me. Because every time I go out to go to the store, in fact, every time I leave the house for anything, the temptation to stop somewhere and get smokes is just as big now as it was 17 days ago. And I honestly don't see that changing. I really don't. And so I have been doing all manner of things to keep my mind off of it as much as possible, which means to get wrapped up in something else. Whether it's a game or movies or YouTube videos or reading this or that. Yeah, not easy, but once in a while I find something good that really kind of keeps my mind really seriously occupied for a while. And recently I found something of a gem, you might say. A bit of fan fiction. Now, I have spent enough time reading enough fan fiction to be sincerely honest without meaning any malice about it at all when I say that when you're surfing fan fiction, you quickly find out that 95% or more of it is, well, to put it politely, it's truly forgettable. On the other hand, there are a few pieces that are truly memorable in how bad they are. But I'm not really here to focus on the bad because I found something good. This crossover, this story, yes, it is a crossover. A lot of them are. You take one particular fandom, in this case, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which, by the way, I don't care what anybody says. I like that series. It was a lot of fun. Well, a lot of seriousness and adventure and whatnot that goes with it. And it really rocked, and I wish there was more than 7 seasons of it. But anyway, this bit of fan fiction, it starts in somewhere in season 7. Because you remember that after Spike got a bit of seriously nasty with Buffy, he decided to leave town and he went to Africa to undergo something called the Demon Trials. And in that he faced fight to the death kind of situations and torture and torment and all this stuff. And he finally won the trial, and as his prize he asked for his soul back. That happened in the series. The story picks up after that. Spike is leaving. He's headed back to civilization, as it were. And there is a flaming object that falls out of the sky, crashes near him. He goes to check it out. It turns out to be, of course, it has to be, a crashed space vehicle. Not just a crashed plane, but a crashed space vehicle. The occupant of this spacecraft is a humanoid, a purple-skinned humanoid. By the name of Abin Sur. Now, a whole bunch of people just got it right there. Yes. William Pratt, a.k.a. William the Bloody, a.k.a. Spike. The latest in a short line of vampires with a soul in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer universe, ends up becoming a Green Lantern. The story covers his adventure. He's gone to Oa for 6 months for training as a Green Lantern, and then he comes back to Sunnydale because things are getting serious with the first evil, which, you know, the first evil, the thing that Buffy and the gang fought at the end of, in season 7 and resulted in Sunnydale turning into a crater because it just fell into a giant sinkhole. In the show, it was referred to as the first evil, but the writer made a nice tie-in with the whole Green Lantern thing, because in the story, the Green Lanterns refer to that same entity as Parallax. Interesting. It was a very good story. The only bad part is that it stopped after 6 chapters. And I am reasonably confident that the story has long since been abandoned because the last update was in 2011. That's a shame. It's potentially a great story, but it's been dropped. For whatever reasons, the author could not or did not choose to continue. We'll never know, of course, why, and it doesn't matter. But there are some genuine gems out there. And I've linked this story in the video description, so be sure to check it out. It's a good story for what it is. And it's got a lot of potential. And it's given me an idea for something. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.
Mr. TinFoilChef.